Hey Jim, Jim Simons. We saw you, I think it was at a show in London where you were showing off a kind of VR interface with Ableton Live. And you're here again with AliveInTech, and you've got a different system with you. So can you explain what's going on with this one?
Yeah, so the Ableton controller was just a MIDI controller in VR. This Tranzient is completely in the box audio engine using, you can trigger loops, play scenes, play step sequences, and have a subtractive synth too.
So this is all based on, so you just need a headset and the rest is happening just straight in the computer, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what headset are you using?
This is an Oculus Rift, and it's the older version.
You look like you've just come out of the diving.
It's kind of the same thing, really.
Yeah, I suppose so. So the idea. So what is it that drives your kind of drives you to do this? I mean, do you think that VR is music creation is underrepresented in VR, or?
Yes, very much so. And there's lots of games, and it's really gaming centred. But there's also the ability to be creative in VR, and VR is really going to take off a lot in the next couple of years with standalone headsets, which are more affordable, and where you don't need a PC. And at that point, loads of people are going to be wanting to make music.
So if I'm not quite sure how we do this, because obviously we can't be in the immersive system with you.
No.
You can do your thing. The sensors are in here. This is the Oculus Rift system, and then you've got the whole thing running on the computer here.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this? Are you just going to kind of talk me through what you're doing and I'll point at the screen?
I think that's the thing to do, and I'll just wave a bit and show what I'm doing.
Okay, all right. So show us how this works then.
Okay, so to start with, if you turn the camera around, we've got a bunch of scenes here where I can play a scene and everything's split into loops and time stretched to fit in a very similar way that you would use something like Ableton, but this is all built in. So quantized loop triggering. So if I move that out of the way and then I grab a drum kit, then I can physically play the drum kit. I could load up a mod synth. There I'm using a button on the controller to 3D control the pitch, so that's where the vibrato is coming from. And this is affixed to a scale that fits in the song. I can then load up a video. Let's just shift that out of the way. And you see that that's also synced to the music.
Oh, okay.
So you can start to have visuals that are also part of the experience, or load up some sort of a visual effect. And then trigger that as well. So if I get something like a step sequencer, let's bring the camera closer. So it's a standard step sequencer. Trigger the bass drum, trigger the snare, hi-hats. But then also I could grab this effect here, it's not in the camera, and program that in exactly the same way as I would program drums or whatever. I'll just stop that for a second.
I mean, it's amazing that. I mean, what's the? We're obviously not seeing the kind of the sense of space and the sense of surrounding. I mean, you've gone for a very sort of glamorous alpine sort of tundra type of affair. Why? I mean, do you feel that the surroundings? You've not gone for a sort of in-tech studio type of surrounding to build this stuff into. Is there a reason for that? Or is
there's actually a choice of about 20 different environments, so it's really about what you feel like. But the open air ones are more fun, and in some ways it seems to influence the music you create. If you're in so there's like a city in there and you start making hip hop or something, and here you might start making something a bit more chilled out. And somehow everything comes together, the environment and the visuals and the music.
Oh, that's really interesting. I remember in the last thing you showed us, there was a collaborative aspect to what you were doing as well.
Yeah.
Have you got that involved in this one as well?
Yes, so that's exactly the same. So you can have up to kind of 7 or 8 people who are not obviously physically in the same environment but are online in VR, and they can all interact and speak voice over IP and collaborate on stuff that's near real time. So you're not going to hit a snare and hit it at the same time, but you're going to be able to turn things, step sequences on and off, and looping, or just play to people and get their opinions.
And can you create your own content for like the loops, or is this stuff that you provide? I mean,
there's a big library in there, and then you can just point it at a folder and it'll pull all the loops that are in that folder in. So if you've got something like Loop Cloud and you've downloaded a load of content, it'll already pull that in and browse it by genre and that kind of thing, or pull your own loops in.
Do you create and compose them, and do you find that you're using some of this stuff for the basis of your own compositions and then maybe working on them more in the studio afterwards? I mean, how does that...
I wish I had the time to do more compositions. I'm very focused on the technical side of this. I have built some of the content in here, some of the songs, that what you heard there I built. And it's really about jamming for yourself rather than trying to create a release track.
Yeah.
It's really about the experience of creating the music.
So, is this available now? I mean, what's the kind of...
Yes, so it's on Steam Store, £15 or £15.50.
And what kind of hardware are you going to need? I mean, obviously you need an Oculus, which is a bit more of an outlay, right?
Yes, so there's all the high-end headsets are supported, which is Oculus Rift, Vive, Valve Index, and there's WMR headsets. They're all supported, but they cost £400 or something.
So that's come down a bit, because I remember when we first spoke to you, they were about £1,000, weren't they? So they...
Yes, everything's come down, apart from the Valve one. The Valve one's like the top end. And coming out, well, it's already come out as a device called Oculus Quest, and that's a standalone, no PC needed, everything's built into the headset, you can do all of this stuff, slightly lower graphics, and I hope to support that in the very near future.
Oh, so you can put embedded apps into that, load them in,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jim, it's so fascinating.
Awesome, thanks for covering it.